All America, all the time. Sit down, buckle up, and get ready for The Dan Bongino Show.
You know, when I first started this show, I grew up in New York City. For those of you who don't know, I think it's fairly obvious given the remnants of my still Queens, New York City accent. But, excuse me, when I grew up in New York City, there was a morning show, Z100, 100.3 on the dial, was the most popular station in New York. That's when people were still listening to radio as like one of the only audio mediums. There were no podcasts or anything like that, you know, back in the 80s, and no one even knew what a podcast was. But they had the Z Morning Zoo was a morning show. And the thing about the Z Morning Zoo, was it Elliot and the other guy in the morning? Everybody listened to this. It felt like one big family listening to the radio at the same time. And even though you weren't around the kitchen table together, millions of people lived in Queens, you just kind of felt like it. So my goal for this show was always to have that kind of family feel to it, where we all kind of don't really know each other, but we know each other. Like I look in the chat, I know Lisa R, I know the McGroin crew, I all of you, Holden, Anita, all of you. I feel like I have this personal relationship with Star Wars fan. Like I've seen you guys in there forever, and ladies, right? So it's always refreshing to me that through all the ups and downs and the wars on me and the show, and I've got this conglomerate of just total a-holes that hates my guts. The left-wing media, the doomers, the grifters, the never Trumpers, they just hate my guts. They always have. That despite that, we continue to plug along. And when I see things like, I saw MLW 960 in the chat this morning, hardcore kind of P1 citation in the chat. He was talking about how an enemy isn't vanquished until he believes it to be so. That was the famous Roman poet Aeneas, before Christ, of course, who had written that down. That I always suggested that you need to apply that to you. I get it with like the doomers and the grifters and everything sucks all the time. Everything's horrible. It is really hard not to go along with the current thing. I understand. I get it. I see it on X. I'm there all day. But folks, nobody votes for a depression agenda. They just don't. I'm not telling you to ignore the problems in this country that still need to be fixed. Obviously, we got to get a lid on some of the inflation, the government spending, Iran still going on. We got to get a lid on that. But just this constant baiting of you with negative information, with no context of the positive information, is a demoralization up that wants you to believe you're vanquished. An enemy isn't vanquished until they believe themselves to be so. I mean, it's been the history of warfare in this century, where even a superpower like us, you've seen it. You're seeing it now. You have to break them, and they're trying to break you. They want you to believe you're vanquished. We've been through it all together, man. We've been through the Obama years. This show's been around a long time. It's not going anywhere until we decide it's so, okay? For whatever reason that may be. The show not going anywhere. And I can be pressured by lunatics to not do a show. You can kiss my ass, okay? But we've been through it before. We've been through the Obama years. Do you guys remember at all? Josh, do you remember when Obama won re-election? Folks, I was running in that campaign. The level of depression in the Republican Party was like nothing I've ever seen. Everybody was telling you it was over. It's over. It's over. But a lot of people like you didn't believe they were vanquished. And what happened? I don't know, this guy, Donald Trump. You ever heard of him? Trump? Justin's like once or twice. Big guy kind of does that dance. He's like, stop with the doom and gloom. It takes an act of faith to believe the country's in worse shape than when your grandparents were fighting in World War II. And I don't mean faith in a positive way. I'm going to show you what I mean today. Did you hear this story of this Cambridge professor? If you haven't heard this story, like why are we talking about this in the beginning of the show? If you want to see what it looks like to impart the language of religion on political ideology, which is what the left does. They have no examples of socialism's success. All they ask you is have faith in it. Just believe. The bumper sticker, coexist tolerance. Can you show me where any of this works? No, I can't. Just have faith. When you impart the language of religion on political ideology, the left is what happens. And this case of the Cambridge professor, where everybody just believed because the story was too good to be true. Unfortunately, most of it wasn't true. I got that and a lot more. Hey, healthcare shouldn't be this complicated. All Family Pharmacy makes it easy to find the medications you need. Visit allfamilypharmacy.com/Bongino. Use code Bongino10 to save 10%. Prescription provided if appropriate. All Family Pharmacy is great. Highly recommended. Also, ammo squared to all those Second Amendment supporters out there who believe in the God-given right to self-protection. You remember the great ammo shortage of 2020? I do. Store shelves were empty, online inventory disappeared overnight, and if you waited until you needed ammo, it was already too late. The lesson's really simple here. Preparedness starts now, before the crisis, not after. That's why more than 190,000 Americans have turned to a great company we're happy to have on board. Ammo Squared. Ammo Squared. Since 2015, Ammo Squared's helped gun owners steadily build their ammunition reserves without the hassle of chasing deals, watching inventory, or making large purchases all at once. Here's how it works. You choose your calibers, set a budget that works for you, and Ammo Squared automatically buys and stores your ammo over time. Can't beat it. What a deal. Your stockpile grows month after month and ships whenever you're ready. No minimum orders. There's no storage fees. No need to spend hundreds or thousands of dollars up front. Whether you're a shooter, hunter, competitor, or simply someone who believes in being prepared, Ammo Squared makes it easy to stay ahead of the next shortage. Visit ammosquared.com today, and start building your ammo reserves the smart way. Join over 190,000 members and thousands of five-star reviews who are taking responsibility for their own preparedness. That's ammosquared.com. Must be 18 or older and not prohibited from possessing ammo. Must be 21 for handgun ammunition. Thank you, Ammo Squared. Fellas, let's go. By the way, talking about in the beginning how I love the P1s when they bring up like MLW, bringing up references like that some of the new listeners weren't really savvy to yet, which is cool. We're all going to be family in the end, I promise. Another one is tomorrow is going to be August 8th. August 8th is a day of extreme significance with the Dan Bongino Inc. company, with Haley and Vince and me and everyone out there. It is, of course, the day we recognize in honor of the great Frank Fugazi.
No one's thinking about this.
Nobody's thinking about it. The great, and by great, we mean the biggest tool in the history of sentient beings. Frank Fugazi, who ran the FBI into the ground. We had to clean up the leadership of him and his mess. 8/8, of course, is Frank Fugazi Day. There it is. Fugazi's in the chat. Fugazi's everywhere. We all love Frank Fugazi. Love meaning we mock him endlessly. So tomorrow's the weekend. There is no show on the weekend. But in honor of Frank Fugazi's ridiculous comment that Donald Trump wanted to celebrate Hitler on August 8th by lowering a flag to half-mast when he meant half-staff because he's too stupid to know the difference. A mast is on a ship. Tear it up! Keep it up. Come on, keep it up in the chat. Fugazi, this is for you. I saw what you did at the FBI, you and your cronies, before you ran the place into the ground. The mess you left us to clean up was a disaster. The fact that people allow you on TV when you're a moron, you don't even know what a ship's mast is versus a staff on a flagstaff, you are an idiot. Fugazi's, wow, we got a floating Fugazi head across the street. I want to really thank Andrea for taking custody of the Fugazi head. We had some logistics issues. We will transfer that back to the show at some point in coordination with the great Anita McGroin. We love her. She is the queen of the chat, so thank you. Fugazi Day. It's crazy. Like, I didn't even know you guys, I had totally forgot you had a Fugazi emoji for the chat. I had totally forgotten that until you reminded. I showed you. This family thing works two ways. You have to tell me. I'm not like the lieutenant general in this space. I'm just one of you. I had to be reminded. You know what? In honor of Fugazi Day tomorrow, some of you who may be new to the show, for P1s, you've seen this, you can tune out now. I'd rather you not. But for those of you who miss this was this moron who was a senior supervisor in the FBI. I mean, a really super high-level guy. So dumb. He went on, what is this, MSNOW years ago? to suggest that Donald Trump lowered the flag at the White House to celebrate celebrate Hitler. What a D-bag. Check this out.
Understand the adversary and the threat we're dealing with. And if we don't understand how they think, we'll never understand how to counter them. So it's little things and language and messaging that matters. The president said that we will fly our flags at half-mast until August 8th.
There's a mast on the White House.
8. Now, I'm not going to imply that he did this deliberately, but I am using it as an example of the ignorance of the adversary that's being demonstrated by the White House. The numbers 8-8 are very significant in neo-Nazi and white supremacy movement. Why? Because the letter H is the 8th letter of the alphabet, and to them, the numbers 8-8 together stand for Heil Hitler. So we're going to be raising the flag back up at dusk on 8-8. No one's thinking about this.
No one's thinking about it. No one's thinking about it because we're not tool bags like you. You bag of tools. This guy's a craftsman. Nobody's thinking. Of course nobody's thinking because we're not crazy. Folks, now you see the mess we were left with. Can you imagine having to crush violent crime, foreign terror organizations, drug operations, have to go out there and clean up VCAT cases, have to engage in, what was an unprecedented transparency, all the stuff that came out, having to, fire and terminate people, having to go through all this while you had leaders like this in charge. Can you imagine the mess they left you with? Holy Moses. So we'll get the Frank Fugazi head back soon. Folks, here's a danger ahead, though. I hate the switch in tone, but I mean, on a very serious note, there is a very serious danger ahead. And with regards to that famous timeless quote by Aeneas that, your opponent in this case isn't vanquished until you believe it to be so. Don't believe you're vanquished. You're not vanquished. You are living in the golden era of American politics. We've never had better control of our border. We've never had a safer country. You're about to witness an explosion through AI of medical technology. Yes, there's going to be some impact on the job market. There's no disputing that. You're going to witness an explosion in compute and construction jobs. You're going to see electricians. You're already seeing it now, making $200,000, $300,000 a year. You are going to be living through the golden age of American politics right now. But doomers and grifters want to demoralize you. And they demoralize you by asking you to believe in religious references rather than facts. That's hard to do. Socialists speak in ideas while conservatives speak in results. That's hard, man. I get it. That's really hard. It's hard to be on the other side of that because human beings, we're not animals in the sense that we are sentient beings. We want to be inspired. We want the Newt Rockney speech. We want the Herb Brooks speech in the Miracle on Ice locker room. We want to believe. So when socialists get out there and say everybody can have everything all the time and it's at no expense to anyone, we're just going to tax the evil rich people. I get it why human beings have this magnetic impulse to want to believe in that. And some of them just don't want to go and do the homework and go, that sounds great, but does it work? So what we're fighting against is what they call in the entertainment business the suspension of disbelief. P1s know this. Justin's like, I've heard that before. I haven't brought it up in a while. But when you go into a movie or a play on Broadway or wherever, it doesn't matter. We have down here, we have that, Lyric or something down here? We have a little stage down here. When you go into a movie like Spider-Man, I brought my daughter to see it. She loved it. Folks in the chat, everyone in the chat recognizes that what's happening on the screen is fake, right? I mean, I know there are liberals out here who are like, what? That's not real? There's no hombre araña? What is it? That's there are no Spider-Man. Outside of liberals, everybody realizes it's fake. So if we all know it's fake, why do we get emotional? Why, when I watched Braveheart, which is every guy's one one of their favorite movies, if not their favorite movie. At the freedom. Why when Mel Gibson says freedom and they're pulling his intestines out? Why when they're doing that? Why did every guy in a movie theater go, are there onions around here? I'm not crying, he's crying. Why did that happen? It's fake. Mel Gibson's not getting his intestines cut out. Why do we do that? Because we voluntarily suspend our disbelief. We disbelieve. We don't believe it. We disbelieve it. We know it's not real, but we suspend it. We suspend disbelief. That's the problem right now with the modern socialists and liberals and a lot of, not all, but a lot of younger people in the movement who are being propagandized and misled by this. They quietly know in the background they're watching a movie. Mamdani's in a movie. He's an actor in a movie. The guy's full of shit. You saw it yesterday with the Voices of Democrats, where he changes his voice. AOC changes her voice. Remember AOC last month? All of a sudden she had a Southern accent like she went to University of Alabama or something. They're just actors. The people being propagandized quietly know this, but they suspend their disbelief because they want to believe, and they don't want a counter alternative being presented to them that requires the work. They don't. They want to be inspired. This is the use of religious and faith-based language planted on top of a secular ideology, communism, and using it to get them to suspend their disbelief and play along with the movie, even though they know the movie's fake. Folks, there's no better way to explain it than that for me. I'm sure some Victor Davis Hanson, who's much smarter than me and others, will be more eloquent. I'm telling you, I like real world meat on the bone examples. If you've ever gone into a movie knowing it's fake and cried in a movie, you have suspended disbelief. You know it's fake, but you let it impact you anyway. That is the modern socialist. That's how we come up with a story like this. This is a stunning story out of the United Kingdom, Cambridge University, who hired the youngest PhD Black professor in their history. The guy's story, ladies and gentlemen, can you put up the tweet first about all the claims? The guy's story was amazing. Figuratively speaking, it's a movie. Well, I may say that literally. They may make a movie out of this in the future. But right now, figuratively speaking, this story is like a movie. This guy's a good-looking guy. He's got like the hair going and everything. Very eloquent. So here were some of his claims. The guy's name is Jason Arday, and he put this book out. And this guy, Paul Embry on Twitter, says, hey, this is really wild. This guy, in his book, The Atlantic got a copy of it in advance. It says he experienced locked-in syndrome for several months after being hit by a car. Doctors advised his family to have the life support machine turned off, but he awakened miraculously. Oh, my, wow. Justin's like, that's crazy. No, that's not it. That's just line one. I'm not going to go through all of it. He says he was struck down by testicular cancer, though it changes in the book to brain cancer. Brain, testicles, those are different, correct? For some. I'm just checking. Brain, they're like different ends, right? Brain, testicles, I don't think you'd miss that. Like if the doctor's going in to operate on brain surgery, that's his balls. Like that's different, right? I'm not a doctor. That he'd been beaten up by a group of kids and in court pleaded with the judge not to jail them. That's really nice of him, right? Coincidentally, two of the kids later became his students, and Arday became the godfather to the child of one of, whoa, dude. Who runs Netflix right now? I don't even know. Can you call this is crazy? Make it literally, make a movie, suspend disbelief, right? What's that? There you go. That's the time. How I Met Your Godfather. Very clever, Justin. He aborted a suicide attempt on a bridge after listening to an Eagles song. Which one? Was it Hotel California? I don't know. I'm not going to sing for you. I've tried that before. It's really bad. He was told by a shaman woman in Brazil he would suffer greatly, but would also do great things. Every event she described has come to pass. This is... Folks, this is the Spider-Man movie. Like a guy shooting webs out of his wrists or out of web shooters, right? A guy doing that, I don't want to do any spoilers for you, but a guy doing that in the movie, you'd say to yourself, hey, this is a really cool story and all, but that doesn't really sound real. You would read all this and be like, that all happened to the same guy? But because the left suspends disbelief in they know this sounds like a movie, but they've got to suspend disbelief because the story was amazing. He's an oppressed minority. He looks the part, sounds the part. Don't do any homework. Just suspend disbelief. Don't actually go in there and research if there was a human being who got bit by a radioactive spider. Suspend disbelief and just go along with it. Here's what he looks and sounds like. And I want you to listen to one of these professors like the chair of the department, like, hey, when you applied for the job, Jason, with this unbelievable resume, the Netflix, How I Met Your Godfather, when you applied, we read your story. And rather than actually checking if any of this was real, we just suspended disbelief, so much so that these brilliant people in Cambridge, great university, correct, super smart. Ladies and gentlemen, P1s, is this not a stupid, smart person? This lady's one of the smartest people on earth on paper, but she's the stupid, smart person who doesn't know the limits of her own knowledge and thinks because she's super smart, she doesn't have to do any vetting homework. Her spidey sense will go off. Some of you get that she'll just figure it out. It was unanimous. We loved you right away. You were amazing. Watch the ass kissing that goes on as they suspend disbelief and just have faith that this guy's story is real. Check this out.
What can we do to ensure that this isn't a market appointment in 5 years' time? How can this become the norm?
We've listened to the voices of our black scholars and our black students, and some of it has not been easy to hear, to be honest, but we're able to face up to some of the structural issues that people face.
There will be those that think this is a tokenistic appointment. What are your thoughts on this?
The Board of Electors on your interview day were absolutely unanimous. We are so lucky to have you. You are the best in the world in terms of the research that you do.
An extraordinary journey, but for Jason, this is not an end. It's a beginning.
Oh, it's a beginning, all right. It's a beginning of a very painful now reconciliation moment for all the people and suckers who suspended disbelief, heard about this movie, the shaman, he's a godfather to these kids who beat him up or whatever. What amazing story, the research. There was another claim about athletic feats. It was the most amazing story ever. It was incredible. The problem is, it was suspect from the start, just like the web shooters. You see web shooters on screen. I don't think that's right. I don't think we have that yet. AI, quantum. Maybe we'll figure it. Shh. We'll do like this. But we're not there yet. Right? I've never seen web shooters that actually shoot actual webs like that. I never seen it. I don't know. Call me crazy. I would have heard this guy's story from the start, of course. And for all you lefty goons out there, you can shove all that racism shit up your ass. Nobody's defended the rights of minorities more than this show. So again, you can take it, roll it in a ball, and shove it right up your ass. This show gives zero shits about your stupid opinions, okay? Nobody has defended minority rights, religious, cultural, race-based minority rights than this show. So again, roll it in a ball, stick it right up in the opposite end. Closer to the testicles, not the brain, where this guy apparently got confused. I would have heard this story, and so would have you. Tell me in the chat. I don't care if this guy was freaking blue or green. Forget about being black. You would have been like, hey, bro, I got to tell you, this story sounds kind of crazy. You're going to have to back some of that up. That's not even a final list of all the claims that were made. Here's where the story gets even crazier. Because I told you, when you in the movie and you're suspending disbelief and you're fully immersed having this emotional experience you know is fake, but you want to believe it's real because you want to be inspired, right? You want to be. That's why movie and executive producers, they'll put up inspired by a true story, even when it's not really. I mean, think about like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Remember in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original version? Man, I'm aging myself now. You guys are like, was that even a thing? It was. In the beginning, they said inspired by a true story. That was not inspired. It was like the Ed Gein. It wasn't even close. But people wanted to be scared. So, oh my gosh, I'm watching something that could be real. This guy, they said the same thing. I'm watching something that could be real. Well, there's a way to find out. You could check. So they tried to check. Someone apparently had some suspicions about the rigor of his academic work. This is the BBC, but the Beebs. So this is not some conservative outlet, by the way. Academics call for an independent inquiry into Jason Arday's Cambridge appointment. Apparently, early on, someone had some suspicion that they were watching the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but it really wasn't based on a true story. So they want an investigative review, and this guy calling for it, Gopal, says the investigation should review whether the university was involved in any way or any level with efforts to deter journalists from reporting on the allegations. Allegations that this guy's story required some inquiries, let's say. This came after it emerged that the Metropolitan Police investigated Times Higher Education reporter Jack Grove over a complaint of harassment after this reporter, who actually looked at this and said, this doesn't sound real, contacted Jason Arday concerning allegations of plagiarism last year. So this reporter, who's actually, for the first time, guys, in a while, is doing actual journalism, correct? He's actually reporting. He contacts this guy and he's like, hey, man, I can't suspend this belief some more. I don't really believe this Texas Chainsaw Massacre happened like you say it did. So what happens to the reporter? This is not funny. This is crazy. The guy hired a law firm, Carter Ruck, to send a letter to basically this reporter and his organization, which implied that the apparent attack on Arday might be racially motivated. Oh my gosh. Folks, this is why I've almost dedicated this entire show since I've been back and have seen now both sides of this. I've known about the ops for 10 years doing this show. I've seen them, I've followed them, I've tried to discredit them, but when you really see it, I've dedicated this show to beg, plead, borrow whatever I need to do. Whatever I need to do to implore you not to fall prey to this on our side of the ideological divide. The left will fall for anything. Folks, everything you're seeing right now is by someone with an agenda. Everyone's got it. And I'm not telling you that every negative agenda, not every piece of agenda that motivates people to do what they do, podcasts, radio, TV, commentary, editorials, is negative. Some people have some people really love the Second Amendment and they write op-eds. You may say, well, they have an agenda. Yeah, their agenda is the God-given right to self-protection. But you need to recognize that. Because some of these things you see of people portray themselves as like non-ideological, non-partisan actors. Oh, I'm just out there saying, is bullshit. I'm above all. You're not above anything. That is what happens, the Jason Arday case. When facts don't matter, all that matters is information. What was he information? Oh, the guy was a shaman. He was at a suicide attempt and the Hotel California started. That's information, correct? Are they facts? Kind of like people in Podcastistan. They throw out a bunch of information and then you go, oh, that's interesting. Is that actually a fact? No, but I want to suspend disbelief. The story sounded great. Yeah, the story sounded great, like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The problem is it's not a real story. Look up that example if you think I'm messing with you. People really believe some guy in a Leatherface was sawing people up with a chainsaw. Don't do what they do. Justin's like, man, this is like a record for your. We have like the nice part about a podcast, you can do, you can do the show in whatever format you want. Do it the spots if you could, you can take a break whenever you want. And sometimes I go really long. Oh, there you go. AI overview. Thank you. I didn't even ask him to do this. No, this is great. Perfect timing. I did not ask him to do this, folks. Google Gemini. That's an AI system. No, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre is not a real story. 1974, when I was born, the horror movie was entirely fictional, featuring made-up characters. However, the film was marketed. You see? Thank you. Josh is like, this guy's for real. The film was marketed as based on a true story as a clever marketing trick to attract audiences. That's socialism. Mamdani, AOC, Bernie Sanders, Liz Warren, they look, hey, this is based on a true story. This could work. If we just tax the evil billionaires, everybody gets everything free. What's the true story it's based on? Nothing! It's bullshit! It's never worked ever!
Stop it.
Stop
Get
it.
some help.
Get some help. We don't use that Giphy enough. That's my favorite one. Stop it. Can you play that again? Stop it. Get some help.
Stop it.
Please.
Get some help.
It's time. Gosh, that may be the best 30-minute intro I think I've done a lot. For me, I don't know how you feel about it. I'm in a good mood. It's a Friday. Got a little party for Paula tonight. I'm in a really great mood. I had to, don't suspend disbelief. Go in the movie, enjoy it, realize it's fake, go out, do your own homework. Don't be a Texas Chainsaw Massacre guy, Leatherface. Don't be Leatherface. Just don't be Leatherface. Because I can't do this. We made this for you. Stupid is a choice. Don't be stupid. It's a choice. Don't be a Syac, okay? Leatherface Syac. Store.bongino.com if you want one for yourself. All right, quick break. I got a lot more. I want to talk next about the art of deception, Taqiyya. I told you about the unholy alliance, the Islamo-radical nutbags, where they lie on purpose and admit it. They have a name for it, Taqiyya. We're going to lie to you and we're going to make you suckers. I'm going to show you this video of this Islamic scholar, probably like the other guy, ordained scholar, right? Basically saying, we're going to make idiots out of you susceptible, leftist Americans and sucker you into our movement. They just admit it. They're not even hiding it. Stay tuned. Hey, you used to think waking up tired was just part of life, but it turns out that the mattress I had was a big part of the problem. It was terrible. I made the switch to the Helix Midnight Lux. This is my second one now. Absolutely love it. The difference is incredible. I fall asleep faster. I fall asleep cooler because I'm one of those hot sleepers. It's the worst. Your body has to cool down to get good rest. I wake up feeling so much better and more rested. Can't recommend it enough. One thing I really appreciated was how simple Helix makes the mattress process. I took their really quick sleep quiz. They matched me with the Midnight Lux mattress tailored to my specific sleep preferences. It asks you some pretty simple questions. The support feels personalized. The cooling technology is a total game changer, especially on warmer nights, which we get a lot of in Florida. Since making the switch, I've noticed fewer interruptions throughout the night and a lot more energy during the day. It's one of those upgrades that impacts your daily life more than you expect. Try it out. Helix is so confident in their product, they're giving you a 120-night sleep trial and a limited lifetime warranty. Can't beat that. Try it out, knowing you have plenty of time to make sure it's right for you. And now Helix, Helix, is offering 20% off site-wide. Here's how you get it. Go to helixsleep.com/Dan for 20% off site-wide. That's Helix, helixsleep.com/Dan for 20% off site-wide. helixsleep.com/Dan. Check it out today. Thank you, Helix Sleep. It really is a great mattress, folks. I love these products. I'm a free market guy, and I'm really happy to support products that do right by me. It's been great. You also know I'm into life hacks. One of the places I go for life hacks, and a huge life hack for me, has been red light therapy. People ask me all the time, where do you get your red light devices from? I've heard great things about it. Boncharge, Boncharge. Boncharge.com. Use code Bongino. You'll save 15%. It's a holistic wellness brand dedicated to helping you perform at your best. They have science-backed tools inspired by nature. They combine ancestral principles with modern innovations. The result, smarter solutions help improve your sleep, your energy, recovery, your overall life balance. Listen, you've heard me talk about Paula's love for the red light face mask. She looks like she's 20 years old. Her birthday was just past. We're having a little party for her tonight. It's a total game changer. I swear by it. I use the red light on my knee. It helps take out some of the inflammation in my knee. I also use their infrared sauna blanket. Total game changer too. Heats up fast, takes under a minute to set up. You can de-stress after a long day and get all the benefits of sauna with a 30, 40-minute session. You can read a book, watch TV. It'll elevate your heart rate like a light workout, ignite a deep sweat, and leave you feeling calm and recharged. Highly recommended. Boncharge ships worldwide, offers free shipping, a 12-month warranty, and HSA FSA eligibility. Go to boncharge.com, use code Bongino to save 15%. That's BONCHARGE.com, code Bongino, save 15%. It's a big savings. These statements and products have not been evaluated by the FDA. They're not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or condition. Check them out, Boncharge. Thank you. All right, I want to show you this, but I want to get to this first. Before I get to the Islamic scholar, just like the other guys, they're not scholars of anything other than death or destruction. They scholar my ass. They're telling you what they're going to do to you. We are going to tell you the Texas Chainsaw Massacre is real, even though you quietly suspect it's fake, and you're going to believe it because we think you're a sucker. We need you to be a Syac. Stupid is a choice. Don't be a Syac. Don't get dead. Don't be a Syac. We may switch that to rule number 2. Folks, eventually there's a reckoning. That's why I titled today's show, Revenge. A little dramatic, right? I got to tell you, I was struggling for a title this morning. Really, sometimes in the morning, because I don't like those clickbaity titles. The greatest thing we've done, man, I hate it. But then it just popped in my head. This is what revenge looks like. It's a sequel to Awareness, one-word title. It's very dramatic. Awareness. This is what it looks like. Ideological revenge. When you're a Mamdani figure or a liberal Democrat like Amy Klobuchar, and you lie to people over and over about the movie being real based on a true story when it's not, people get really kind of pissed off. Now, granted, the movie example in this case, but in the real world, when you're told the evil billionaires, we're going to steal their stuff, give it to you, and you're going to have everything you need, and it doesn't work out, people get really mad. That's what happened to Communist Mamdani, the mayor of New York City. He goes up to this guy, again, is living in a fantasy land where he thinks he's a heroic figure in like a Robin Hood movie. He gets on stage in front of working class New Yorkers getting ready to give his speech. Did you guys see this? It didn't work out too well. Check this out.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for some more dancing? Oh, no, we're not. No, we're not. No, we're not. We're getting awards. Somebody's getting an award. You want to see who's getting an award? Come on, guys. I want some energy here.
Folks, you know, the laws of physics, actions equal and opposite reactions. When the action is a Mamdani-like action, he talks. That's an action, right? He moves his tongue muscles and jaw muscles and expels carbon dioxide and talks. He's telling you and promising you things that are not based on a true story. It's never worked, that I am going to redistribute the benefits of successful people to people who don't have a lot and everyone's going to have everything at the same time, has never worked. So the guy's only months in office at this point, and people in New York, who I told you, there's a lot of working class folks in there. My brother lives up there now. He's a working class electrician. He's not like some liberal lunatic, okay? So do other family members of mine. People in New York's not like portions of California. New York is a very working class town outside of Manhattan. Brooklyn, Queens, it is. And why do they vote? I don't know, folks. It's people, institutional Democrats have run the place forever. Now they're starting to realize everything this guy said is bullshit. People get annoyed. This happened to Amy Klobuchar, too. She's a Democrat U.S. senator, not state senator, a Democrat U.S. senator from the state of Minnesota. Here she is at a meeting talking about how she's been some big, like, pro, immigration enforcement, build the wall kind of. She's a Democrat. I want you to listen to the responses. People are like, are you serious? They start laughing at her. This is what happens when you find out your suspending disbelief didn't work and it really isn't a true story. Check this out.
I've long believed and supported funding for order at the border, and I have worked well with law enforcement in Minnesota for years. But what I...
Quiet.
Wow.
Look at her face. Wow. She's stunned that people are laughing at her as if she thought they were going to believe this movie, just like this Jason Arday guy thought they were going to believe about the shaman. Look at her face. She doesn't. Wow. Oh my gosh. I can't believe you don't believe I'm not a big immigration. All we did was read the book. All we did was actually do so. Look at her. Wow. Wow. Look at the eyes. So pissed off. Folks, this is the art of deception. The taquilla. I've told you about the unholy alliance. Hat tip David Horowitz. Again, check out the book. The unholy alliance between Islamo-fanatics and liberal communists. They're allies in the same movement, which is to remove liberty and freedom and destroy the constitutional republic. And their obstacle to doing it is you. I promise they will turn on each other the second you're out of the way. But just like Aeneas, though, you're not going to be vanquished because you're not giving up, because I'm not going to let anyone. I know you don't want to anyway. The enemy is only vanquished when they believe themselves so. We never believe so. We will never, ever, ever put down our political, ideological weapons. We'll never do it. We're not surrendering them, ever. So we will never be vanquished because it will be no considering ourselves so. So how do they keep so many people in this loop, knowing that the request being made of them is you need to give up your money, your kids, your right to your money, your job, your education, everything to us. You will be our subjects in this Islamo-fanatic regime or communist regime, because they will turn on each other too. The way to do it is to engage in the art of deception or the lie. They just lie when they're caught. Dan, you got to have something big. No, I don't. It's that simple. They just lie to you. They're so proud, however. They're so proud of the fact that they know you'll be sheep for them. Not you and my audience, but the putzes out there on the left who fall for this shit. They are so convinced you're too dumb to wake up from your sheepdom that they actually talk about it openly. I saw this clip online yesterday. Islamic scholars. By the way, remember the LGBTQ plus activists we played the other day on the show from Gays Against Groomers put out? Talking about, hey, we got to catch these kids early while into puberty, while they're still impressionable, because they know when kids turn into adults with life experience, they'll know it wasn't a true story. Here's the Islamic scholar guy talking about the exact same thing. Pay close attention to this. There's a couple parts. That they want to present basically an alternative model for society. Alternative, yeah, you as subjects. They want to insert themselves into key positions. You mean like the mayor of New York City? No, can't say that. Yeah, we can. We just did. And then that they want to do it slowly. The whole boiling frog thing. So you don't really feel the heat. It doesn't hit you like a super hot shower. They don't want you to jump out of the shower. Just turn it up slow. Check it out.
Present solutions based on Islamic values, but in the second level degree, not to tell them replace secularism with Islam. It won't work. Yeah, presenting Islam as a civilizational alternative, this needs from us a different way of addressing this generation, addressing, in fact, the whole world, trying to get into key positions where you are influencing the decisions, yani decision making. If we are, whatever we do, and we are not influentials, we cannot influence the how politics is running. We are not influence the decision making processes.
We know that if we were to do this from 0 to 100, the people are going to say, we're not going to have this type. Look Afghanistan, look other places. And people understand they're not going to go from 0 to 100 overnight. Suppose a Muslim party, an Islamic party, comes in and they start changing. You know what? We want to make sure there's no alcohol being sold. So can we, for the time being, because here's the point, any type of stuff we do, it's not astaghfirullah to substitute the Sharia. No, it's a program to eventually apply the Sharia, right?
Dan, how dare you say that? I didn't. They did. Folks, I just play their own words. You're being given the script to your own destruction, and you're like, hold on, where do I sign? Is that by the X? No, it's by the bloody X. That's it. I mean, they're telling you, here is the script to this movie. How does the movie end? I end as a subject. I end up in a gulag, poor, impoverished, stupid from a bad education system with shitty healthcare. Sounds great. Sign me up. Folks, I'm sorry. I'm not the most humble cat sometimes, I gotta admit it, but nobody does this better than this show, finding these clips out there. All you gotta do is go on find certain accounts on X to follow. This show, you can put it together. What did I say to you guys this morning? This is the hardest thing in the world is to deliver content and make it unique because everybody's talking about the same thing, right? The issues the world's undergoing, right? The hardest thing in the world is to deliver content. The easiest thing in the world, I kid you not, if you ever want to get into the podcast space, is putting together a conservative podcast. Guys, am I right? The show takes me like 2 hours. That's it. Delivering it is hard. You have to find creative ways or else people tune out. It's the easiest thing in the world because the lib progressive commies and the Islamo fanatics just tell you what they want to do. The LGBTQIA 2+, we want to catch your kids early in puberty when they don't really have a lot of life experience so we can propaganda this. Did you just say that? Did you just say, well, we want to impose the Sharia law, but we got to do it slowly? Oh, okay. I've told you about the unholy alliance. Now they tell you what they're going to do. You want to be a subject? You want to be a subject? Just play along. Just play along. Just sit in a movie and pretend the script being read to you. In this case, it is real. Here's the script. We're about to F you over. You're like, bring it on, kids. Folks, I am not mad, and this is not going to be one of those shows. I've seen the internet thing going on right now with burritos. Why haven't you checked? Because I'm not interested in intra-party. I'm just not. There's enough of that going on right now. I'm not. When we need to address it, we do. There is a bigger fight going on right now against the Islamo-fanatics and their commie friends. It is an enormous fight where civilization's future hinges on it, and I don't mean that with any degree of hyperbole at all. So I'm sorry, but I'm not going to spend all day talking about a burrito. I'm not. You guys do your own. I'm not mad at anyone for doing it. But I'm also not mad at a lot of these younger people who are being propagandized. Folks, tautologically, axiomatically, I was young once too. We all were. I wasn't born 51. None of you were either. I believed a lot of dumb shit too. A lot of dumb shit. Because you're young. You learn the hard way. You're like, well, I read this in a book, and then you do it in life, and someone kicks you in the balls. You're like, well, maybe I shouldn't have done that. But it said in the book. Yeah, the book isn't really how real life goes down. This is why they want the kids. Pull up that CNN poll if you can. I wanted to show you. So Abdul al-Sayed, the Democrat, communist, Islamo-fanatic nut, who is now the Democrat nominee for the United States Senate, shockingly, in the state of Michigan. This should be one of those break glass moments. This guy is openly campaigning with an absolute lunatic who makes excuses for 9/11 and excuses certain forms of rape. What? Yeah, I'll play that for you in a second. But I want you to notice, here's CNN. Now they have all the polling data on how Syed won. I want you to notice where he did really well. And it confirms my operating thesis here. And I'm not mad at younger folks. I'm just trying to open eyes. Remember, you were young once too. That he did really well amongst young people. But older folks, working folks, whether minorities, black or he didn't do too well. People saw through the bullshit. They knew they were watching the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and it wasn't real. Check this out.
In your Columbia blue, you've got Abdul al-Sayed. And what you see here is you see that Haley Stevens did particularly well in this corridor. And what's in this corridor? Well, there are a lot of working class voters and a lot of African American voters. Abdul al-Sayed did very poorly amongst these groups in the primary. It's going to be very interesting to see whether or not he can bring them into the tent come the general election, bring those swing voters with them, because where Abdul al-Sayed did well, to be honest with you, we're really just college towns. That's where he really ran up the score. This is Ann Arbor. Ann Arbor's in this county, and Ann Arbor, of course, is the University of Michigan. We zone out a little bit. Another place he did particularly well was Lansing. Again, we're talking 20-plus point margins.
You see, folks, we don't bullshit you on this show. We don't tell you that Chainsaw Massacre is real. We give you the hard truth. And I say the hard truth because sometimes the hard truth is hard to take. And I know it sucks, but it requires me to treat you like adults and vice versa. I went and did my public service. I brought back a portfolio of results. I've shown you many times. We put it up the other. You don't have to like them. You say, you suck. We don't like your. Okay, fine. That's your opinion. You're allowed to have one. But I have to give you results, and I have to tell you things like, guys, we could tax billionaires all we want. You could make it 100% tax on billionaires. It is not going to benefit your life one bit. In fact, it's going to make it worse, because a lot of these people are worth $1 billion. However odious you find that to be, that accumulation of wealth, did not get that by theft. Unless you are like Pablo Escobar, I'm talking about people who engaged in legal commerce, who followed the law, not thieves or criminals, just to be clear. There are scumbags who probably have accumulated that money, ironically, through socialist systems and tyrannies over time. I'm talking about people who've done it legally. I know you may find that odious. Oh my gosh, I can't believe they have that much money. The hard reality is it's hard to tell you this, that you need to focus on you, not them. They got that money by producing something that people wanted and bought a lot of, if they did it legally, which the majority of them in the United States did. That's not a comfortable thing to tell people. Well, nobody needs it. It doesn't matter what they need. It matters what works. It's hard to tell people that. There were a lot of Democrat voters in Michigan who caught on to this bullshit with this guy. Folks, they lie. They strategically deceive you in this tequila-like art of deception. They lie to you all the time. And the people they campaign with, if this was a figure, I want you to imagine for a second, please. And this is not going to be a pleasant thought, so be prepared. They're not for kids. Imagine a conservative commentator. I don't even want to throw in him. John Smith, doesn't matter. I don't even want to stain the name of Joey Bag of Donuts with this. Imagine conservative commentator John Smith on the John Smith podcast. If there is a John Smith, I'm not referring to the real one. Imagine him saying, you know, listen, man, there are certain type of rapes where, you know, if we see it from a utilitarian perspective, some rapes are better. What? Somebody said that? Oh, yeah, somebody said it, but not a conservative commentator. You guys have the video? Who said that? I'm a little confused. I don't really remember. Like you have it written down to paper. I know, I get it. This is an actual, I just listen to this yourself. This guy's out there campaigning with the commie unholy alliance Islamo-fanatics. And nobody thinks comments like this are just a little off. Check this out.
College is like doing one good thing, which is that like if you have these millionaire, billionaire, WASP fail sons, at least taking them out of other colleges so they can only do date rape to other billionaire, millionaire failed daughters is like, in some respects, you know, from a utilitarian perspective, of course, a little bit better. You know what I mean? Like taking these guys and putting them in a pen with one another.
Josh is giving me the emoji guy on. Guys, should we just clarify in case there's some liberal lunatics? I feel like we should do this. For regular Bongino Army folks, again, you could tune out now. You don't need to hear this, although I'd rather you not. To the insane leftists at Media Matters and elsewhere, listen to my show and support this Hassan Piker. For those of you who are listening on Apple or Spotify or YouTube where there isn't video, that was Hassan Piker, who's campaigning openly with Democrats. They love him. They think he's great with his little Mao costume and everything. Let's just clarify. There are no rapes that are better than other rapes. They're all bad. Everybody agree? Can we get a unanimous? Everybody's unanimous. Only took them a second. No, they're all bad. Okay, there are no better rapes. This is insane. We're actually having this conversation. We should put some rich people in a pen together. If they rape each other, no, we shouldn't do that. No, we shouldn't be encouraging categorizations of rape. Oh, this one's better than. No, it's not. By the way, you have my Mao. Sorry to go out of order. That snap was kind of rude. I didn't mean it that way. They can't even hear me anyway, so it doesn't even matter. They see me, but they hear me through the microphone. You have that Mao post on X. He's like, I'm not offended. I've seen worse. Arthur McWaters on X. You know, Hassan Piker dresses in his Mao costume. He cosplays as Mao. And if you don't know who Mao is and you're a lefty, he was a Chinese communist. I'm sorry, I got to say it too, who only wiped out hundreds of millions of people. Mao killed so many people that it literally dipped the global life expectancy. This is actually an appropriate use of literally. He even has a chart. That's how many people Mao killed, that the human life expectancy chart was forever altered. And he dresses as him. This is his guy. Folks, this is your modern Democrat Party. You may say, Dan, no, it's not. Haley Stevens, Abdullah Sayed's opponent, almost won the race. Yeah, she went out the next day at a unity breakfast. Did you guys see the video? And hugged him. Hugged this guy, Abdullah Sayed. This guy should be completely exiled from any serious political debate for not win the nomination for a major party U.S. Senate seat in a swing state. Folks, we're living in like crazy pills time, man. This is the break glass moment. That's why I don't spend a lot. Why aren't you talking about this more or that more? Because, folks, I like to talk about the big thing right now that's going to get us all killed, and the unholy alliance between the Islamo-fanatics and the commies is going to get you killed or raped or any litany of horribles. How do I know that? Because I read a book once in a while. My God. What is your example of this? I don't want to dip in life expectancy because communism comes here and wipes out another 100 million people. All right, listen, quick break. I got a few more I want to get to. I'm going to show you the taqiyya too, because if you think the taqiyya is only an Islamo-fanatic thing, only they lie. No, the commies do the same thing. The commies say all the time, hey, I know what we're saying is really dumb. And there are other commies like Bernie, like, Dad, just lie to them. People are stupid. They'll be sheep. I'm not kidding. I'm going to show you evidence of it right now. They'll flip-flop on any issue right in front of your face. Quick break. Patriot Mobile today. We love Patriot Mobile. We use Patriot Mobile. It feels like our country's finally got some momentum again, with so many of us fighting to restore common sense and America first. But we've seen this before. Sometimes get a little comfortable, and the libs, as we're seeing right now, and the socialists, they inch by inch, they start to take back and get at war with our God-given rights. America needs every one of us in the fight today. A big part of that is supporting companies that actually stand for our values. That's why I'm proud to partner with Patriot Mobile. They've been with us forever. I think it's the best mobile service out there. Patriot Mobile gives you premium, priority nationwide service on any of the 3 major U.S. networks. I use it. Paula uses it. Guy uses it. You get the coverage you need, plus unlimited data plans, mobile hotspots, international roaming, and 100% U.S.-based customer support team. Switching is really easy. Paula did it in just a few minutes for us. Keep your phone, keep your number, activate in just minutes. But Patriot Mobile is more than just a great wireless service. They support a growing movement of Americans defending faith, family, freedom. They do it proudly, and our future. They donate millions every year to organizations fighting for our freedoms. It's a great company. Check them out. Here's the website. Go to patriotmobile.com/Dan or call 972-PATRIOT. Use promo code Dan for a free month of service. That's patriotmobile.com/Dan or call 972-PATRIOT. Make the switch today. Thank you, Patriot Mobile. Great company. Here's what I want to show you. They just lie to you, to your face. All politicians lie. Ladies and gentlemen, the degree of the lie matters, okay? A guy like this Jason Arday, who apparently has some background problems, it's one thing to lie and, say, listen, whatever. I went to college and excelled in my class, okay? Say someone says that and you find out he got C's. Well, maybe for him that was excelling. He was fabricating a bit. It was a little bit of bluster. I'm not telling you it's right, but that's different than saying, whatever, I have a PhD, if that were and you don't, correct? Like everything's life on the margin. It's not how much heat you put in your thermostat in the winter. It's not heat or no heat. It's how much heat on the margin. It's the degree. The problem with the Democrats is, yes, Republican congressmen, senators, and politicians lie too. The degree of the lie on the left is about everything they're telling you. Nothing they tell you is true. Here's Bernie Sanders. He's asked a question about Hassan Piker and some of his comments, like, the rape thing and the better and the 9/11. And did you see the dog video with Hassan Piker? Folks, I'm sorry. The dog video alone is a total game changer for me. How you treat the elderly and people who are, weaker than you and others in a bad place. I always said growing up to my kids, I don't care how you treat the owner of a restaurant. I care how you treat the bouncers and the busboys and the bartenders. That's what I care about. My family owned a bar. It was a middle-class bar. That's what I care about. I want you to watch Bernie completely flip-flop on this. Now he's calling it cancel culture. So let me get this straight. You're equating a guy discussing degrees of rape betterment with conservatives who were canceled like me? I was booted off YouTube for telling you cloth masks are not going to protect you in COVID. Those two things on the margin are the same, only if you're a crazy person. Check this out.
Hiker has said America deserved 9/11. Are you comfortable with that association?
No, I am not. I think that's a dumb statement. On the other hand, he has a whole lot of followers, and there's a lot of things that he's saying that are making sense to a lot of people. I think, we have to get above cancel culture. When you're doing radio, whatever they do, podcasts 3 hours a day, you say dumb things. I suspect if you go back over your career, there may be 1 or 2 things that you said that you may have regretted. But I think what we have got to do is look at the totality of where people are coming from and go forward.
Okay, there's one thing I got to give Bernie a pass on, which he's right about. You guys see it? You hear it at the end? He's like to Abby Phillips on CNN. You probably said a lot of dumb things. Yes, Bernie, that is the first truth. No truer words have ever been spoken. Abby Phillips, we could do a montage of dumb stuff she said. You are correct. However, notice the lie, the art of deception. The Islamo-fanatics and the commies do the exact same thing. Ridiculous comparisons connecting item one with item two when there's no connection whatsoever. Conservatives who warned you about, hey man, let's be careful with the mask thing during COVID. Hey, let's look into some of the stuff that happened in the election have actually been proven correct. Those were fact-based statements. This isn't cancel culture. No, did you hear me say, fellas, did you hear me say one time during the show? People get annoyed when I talk to the staff. I don't care. It's my crew. You know, it's the thing. Like, they're part of the show, too. Have you ever heard me call for a boycott on Hassan Piker? Have you heard that? No. Okay. You want to listen to Hassan Piker? Well, folks, I'm an investor in free speech platforms. Piker, put your show on the platform. Well, you don't commit a crime by threatening someone. That's just bullshit. I've never called. There's no cancel culture on the right. We have opinions we don't like. We're allowed to call them out. Last time I checked, this is still a republic. The difference is we don't lie to people. Bernie's full of shit. Here, I'll prove it to you. Here's the tequila, the art of deception. If you're young, you don't have to fall for this. I'm telling you, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie's not real. That didn't really happen. Why would you choose to believe it? Here's Bernie Sanders, hat tip to my team for putting this together, claiming, don't laugh, folks, this actually happened. Bernie Sanders claiming that the left, no serious person has ever claimed that we should defund the police. No, yes, he actually stated that. But stay tuned for the follow of serious people talking about defunding the police. Check this out.
There are some DSA candidates today, including some who've won their primaries this cycle, who've also talked about abolishing prisons, defunding or even abolishing the police, abolishing borders. You've never been for any of that. Are you worried that taking those positions, which are unpopular with most voters and even most Democrats, sort of hurt the movement that you've worked really hard to build?
Well, look, people have different views, and what you know as well as I do, that the right wing, that's their job, right? They will take what one person said and put $80 billion of TV ads on it and make it claim every Democrat supports that. No serious person that I know who is running for office believes in, quote unquote, defunding the police.
Oh, here it is. Here's the tequila, the art of deception. Bernie claims, younger folks, I'm trying to help you, not trying to be a tool, okay? He just made a claim, correct? That you can go and verify? Is Texas Chainsaw Massacre real? So I asked the guys, what did it take you, 5 minutes to put this together? Has anyone on the Democrat side elected to a serious position, Congress, Senate, elsewhere, has anyone on the left ever claimed that they wanted to defund the police? The guys were like, here's your montage. I said, it's only been 5 minutes. Didn't even take long. Check this out.
So we've been talking about defunding the police.
Suck it up. Defunding the police has to happen. We need to defund the police.
Not only do we need to disinvest in police, but we need to completely dismantle the Minneapolis Police Department.
Yes, I support the defund movement.
I think you do all those other things, you don't need all the money that's going to the police department. So yeah, I mean, the spirit of it, I do support that.
Rashida Tlaib tweeting, no more policing, incarceration, and militarization. It can't be reformed.
Police departments are taking a sizable amount of the budget of a lot of municipalities and other entities. We need to look at those budgets, pull some of the money back and invest it in other things.
We obviously took money out of the NYPD budget, put it into youth programs, put it into social services, put it into recreation centers for young people. That's really the right direction. I'm glad we did that.
Not only do we need to defund, but we need to dismantle and start anew.
Folks, this has been a generational op against law enforcement by the socialist, communist left in conjunction with their Islamo-fanatic buddies. A sense of safety and security in flourishing communities makes people focus on basically subsidiarity, makes them focus on their lives, their faith, their church. What the Democrats want is they want to break that apart and a relentless focus on a national safety blanket from a federal government all powerful that'll make you subjects. And they can't get you to do that if you enjoy your white picket fence, your 2 kids, and your dog. They can't. They need chaos. Chaos is the spark that's going to light the dynamite, that's going to blow society up so that you call again for some sense of safety and security. And they want to fill in that vacuum in your life with an all-powerful federal government. That's why they hate law enforcement. They can't stand it. This is all an op. There's nothing they want more than for your streets to be full of chaos. Remember the George Floyd riots? They love that. They were like, oh, it's mostly peaceful. Hey, that dude's getting his ass kicked right in your back. No, that's a fight over his golf score. You're like, what? That looked like it to me. Remember the building burning in the background? Nothing to see here, folks, like the Naked Gun Giphy. Nothing to see here. Or the Giphy with the little girl on the swing where the house is burning in the background. She's got that like shit-eating grin on. That's the left. They need the chaos. You know, I had an AP history teacher in high school, a super smart guy. He was a Democrat, but he was a good dude. And he used to say all the time, the biggest enemy to chaos agents in politics are a flourishing middle class. Because they start to worry about their own lives like they should. Their kids, the dog, the car needs an oil change. The left doesn't want that. They need you focused on Elon Musk. They need the new thing is like cloud compute. They need you. And you're like, how does this stuff impact my life again? They need you focused on this all the time. You know, Medicaid for all. Like, I like my health company. No, you can't do that. Folks, everything is an op. And let me tell you something, one of the most dangerous ops out there now. Hey, man, I'm telling you, like I'm even seeing some on the right who are falling for this a lot. You are my enemy if you fall in this trap. The oldest fight in the book, the oldest op in the book for the left and the Islamo-fanatics is the effort to divide children from their parents and grandparents. Forget life experience. Forget that grandpa told you the Texas Chainsaw Massacre is fake. Mom Donnie's telling you it's real. Don't listen to your stupid grandparents. They're really dumb. Boomers, mega boomers, ultra boomers. Have you seen this? Folks, if you're on X, it's even people on the right are falling for this shit. Don't listen to your boomer parents. Really? Some of the best life advice I've ever received is from my father. Busted his ass his whole life. William Jacobson had a great X post up about this now. Here's how the op starts. Oh, man, your parents and grandparents, they had it so easy. You're struggling. Listen, a lot of kids are struggling. I told you, I'm not mad at folks and younger folks who are struggling. Inflation's real. The education crisis is real. You know, the job market is going to be tough. It's very real. Acknowledged, point stipulated. But that's not the point. Keep this up. That's not the point the libs, commies, and Islamo nuts are trying to make to get you psychologically to hate your parents and grandparents. The point they're trying to make is not that you have it tough. It's that your parents had it easy and you have it tougher than anyone else. So William Jacobson said, well, let me just put a dose of reality on this. He says, all we seem to hear from doom and gloomers in Podcastistan and isolationist influencer class members is how easy boomers had it. I wish I had lived through these easy days, sarcastically stated, instead of graduating in 1981, when interest rates were through the roof and so was unemployment. Nobody had it easy. But this generational warfare is being stoked to create a class of angry young people who can then be manipulated. Thank you, sir. Read this. For the young folks out there being manipulated who think your dad and your mother and your grandfather had it really easy. Interest rates now, you know, what do we range from for a mortgage from 5 to 7% based on the economy? Yeah, not low compared to the 3s and 4s we had. But in 1980, the average 30-year fixed home mortgage interest rate was, does that say 13.74? You sure that's not 3.7? It's not a typo? No, Justin says that's 13.74 compared to 6s and 7s and 5s. Sounds like the boomer parents they want you to hate. That's a lot. The annual unemployment rate, what is it today? 4.1%? The unemployment rate back then in 1980 was 7.2%. I'm not diminishing your problems, the younger generation, not even a little bit. I'm just telling you, the boomer parents they want you to hate had it a lot worse. And they didn't have iPhones or fancy electric cars. In mid-2026, the 30-year mortgage rate hovers around 6.6 to 6.75. The national unemployment rate actually ticked down today. It was 4.2. It's actually 4.1. You're being played. You're being told that Leatherface is real. He's not. He's not. You should be concerned about inflation, the job market. It'll encourage you to react, do things to make your life more promising and flourishing, and I wish the best for you. I wish you a family, the dog, the picket fence, the car you want, the life you want, the job you want. I'm not one of these guys who comes here all angry all the time. Is starting to get into these arguments about the price of Chipotle. I'm sorry, man. I acknowledge that younger kids, like when I was young, every generation has its problems. But pretending your grandparents, my grandparents who were since passed, who lived through the Great Depression, had it easy is laughable. That's just, you're not suspending just disbelief this, but you're just going along with a hoax because it's, I don't know, you want to hate your grandma? I don't get it. I just want to mention quick yesterday, I didn't neglect it. However, there's going to be a lot of litigation. President Trump, who's a man of action, was not very happy about the birthright citizenship ruling at the Supreme Court, put out a couple executive orders expanding the definition of basically like invading armies to FTOs and the ambassador diplomatic corps to make people who come here for birth tourism ineligible. We'll see how litigation plays out. Again, a guy does stuff. You don't have to like it. I do. I like men of action. I like results. He's transactional. He's trying to do something about a problem. Of course, the doomers and grifters will continue to complain. It's just going to be turned out. Okay, man, what are you doing besides, watching tentacle porn and throwing popcorn at the boxing ring? What are you doing? At least he does stuff and tries stuff. So to leave you in a good mood because it's Friday, producer Jim always gives us on Friday our Democrat Zen moment of the day and therefore of the week to put you in a good mood. He picks out the best Democrats with a nice, calming, mediating influence on the American body politic so you can all go into the weekend nice and mellow, have like a hookah, maybe an oxygen bar, have a glass of wine. I do not see these beforehand. So I'm going to give you a language alert. Why? You said you haven't seen it. Because every time these guys, I ask them, is there language in this? They go, no, some crazy Democrat starts dropping F-bombs. So language alert if you have kids, even if there isn't any. I'm seeing this with you for the first time. Democrat Zen moment of the day.
Your Democrat Zen moment of the day. A peaceful moment to center your mind.
What the hell? You cannot be serious. Nobody wants to live in a country full of hate. It's all hate, 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 hate. Trump hates everybody that's not white. And I can't believe
this has been Democrat Zen.
Real. That's not real. There's no way that's real. There's no way. I'm not suspending. I'm just disbelieving. That's not real. Even for the crazy left, that's not real. There's no way that's real. I'm not telling you it's AI. The dude is probably real. There's no way that's real. Folks in the chat, wait, quick poll before we go. Quick poll. Yes, it's real. No, it's not. Meaning like the guy's act. I'm telling you no. I am on the record. That cannot be real. Jim, I need you guys to do some homework. There is no way that's real. There's no way. Even by lefty standards, that's the craziest Democrat Zen moment yet. By the way, if you're listening to Apple and Spotify, just go to the end of the show and watch that clip. The guy's got like the rainbow flag. He's got some weird looking hat on. He's like wiping his nose, by the way, with the rainbow. I thought that was like sacrosanct. Like the right guys, like the rainbow flag for them is like a religious article. He's like wiping his nose. He's got like snots coming out of his nose. Who says, yes? I think I'm losing this. For the first time in my show's history, I'm losing my own poll. Shameful. Bongino Army, back me up. Again, I'm not the general in this army. I'm just a member. Hey, sometimes even the host needs to be called out, I guess. You're saying it's real. Jasmine, is that real? No, Jasmine's with me. She knows. Justin, real? No, you can't give me the eyes. You got to give me a position. Justin's going to go yes. Okay, this is a democracy in here. Josh, yes. Josh is on the record backing up just Andy. Andy's going yes, too. Jasmine, we lost 3-2. It's just me and Jasmine. Andy, was that real? Come on, help us out. Yes, it's tied. I can't tell you who Andy is. There's another Andy. It's tied. It's now 3 yeses. It's fake versus 3-2. Thank you. Saved by the bell. One of these days, I'll explain it to you. I can't right now. Can't forget our comment of the day also. What's the rules to win the comment of the day weekly contest? It is the 1776 Live Club. 1776 because it was an amazing year for the United States. Also because it's $1,776 in your pocket if you win weekly. How do we do it? Join the chat every day, the live chat, 10 a.m. Eastern time. If you're picked for comment of the day, we pick a winner once a week. If you want to see the official rules, you should check it out at Bongino.com/1776. The comment of the day today is Meg_Matt. Potty training my 3-year-old with the Dan Bongino show as a soundtrack. Potty training McGroy. I hope it worked. Did it work? By the way, how did you, when you do the potty training, you do it like you have to give them like a reward and you're like, wow, look, it's great. You took a dump in the bowl. Like it's like the craziest thing when you're kids. Meg, Matt, you got to let us know how that works for you. I hope it works out. It was really easy for us, happened quick. And then they have these pull-ups now for the kids. Only moms and dads know about this stuff. Dan Bongino show is a soundtrack. I enjoy being the soundtrack through your lives. You know why? Because I said in the beginning of the show, I see where you guys picked that. That was always my goal, to make this like a family type atmosphere. That's why the listeners are so loyal. It always shocks the liberal media. They can't believe how big this show. They can't. It drives them crazy. Stuart Thompson. And who's the other guy? Who's the guy doing the Run DMC pose? Ben, whatever his face is. They hate us. They can't stand it. It drives them crazy. They have zero influence. They're like, how do people listen to this? It drives them nuts. Folks, don't miss the launch of the Sean Farris Show, August 17th, coming up. It's going to be at 1 p.m. Eastern time. If you want to follow the great Sean Farris before the show, and you should, you can do it today. Go to Bongino.com/Sean, SHAWN. Follow him all over Spotify, Apple, Rumble, all of those platforms. You can always check out Vince every morning at 8 a.m. as well. And Haley every day at noon, rumble.com/Haley. Oh, you did the villain roster. Yes. You got one. We've disposed of a couple of these. Fugazi, I did not ask for this. I did. If you guys tuned out, put that up again. If you guys tuned out, some of you got to run at 11. I understand. I go over an hour a lot on the show. I asked them to put together a villain roster. There's the dude, Ben, whatever his face is, Fugazi. Of course, the cat lady who has been vanquished to the Phantom Zone. We don't even know where she is anymore. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4 open spots. Also, I'll tell you what, we will be taking nominations in the chat. What do you think, guys? Next week for additions to the villain roster. I didn't realize you guys actually put that together. I was kind of just kidding, but good job. All right, folks, rumble.com/Bongino if you want to watch on the web. Give us a follow. Download the app on your smart TV. Download the app on your phone. We really appreciate it. Time for me to bolt. I will see you back here on Monday.
Hey there, I'm Vince.
I'm Haley Carania,
Host of Vince.
Host of Scrolling with Haley.
You can always catch my show right here
on the Bongino Report.
Live, 8 a.m. Eastern, weekday mornings.
Weekdays at noon. If you miss it, no worries. The show will always be
right here
and anywhere you find podcasts. Thanks for watching. Hey everyone, Haley Carania here, host of Scrolling with Haley. My show is coming up right here on Rumble at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. I cover breaking news, react to viral videos, go down conspiracy theory rabbit holes, and have a whole lot of fun. You are not going to want to miss a second of it. Live, 12 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on Rumble, rumble.com/Haley. I'll see you there.